Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We've got another match for you on the O3 Splash channel. My name is Podslam, and over there is a Biscuit. Biscuit, how you doing?
Hello, hello. I'm doing very well today, fine, thank you. And I hope the players are doing well today because I do believe that it's going to be their last game of the day. And we're all kind of tired. We wanna see how it goes. And O3 Splash, I'm just saying, Pod, they are coming from an absolute banger of a series that they've been playing. Like they are right now 5-0. And I don't know, this team is looking extremely dominant. They ran into a couple of problems. Rift, of course, giving them a 3-2, as well as Timeless. Giving them a run for their money. But what else can I say? I think we're in for some high level Overwatch.
Yeah, even though they're giving them a run for their money, it does seem that O3 Splash are the ones coming out on top every single time. Because, I mean, you can win one or two maps, but you got to win three if you want to add it to the victory column. And Dragon Dance, not very proficient this season at winning 3 games. The only team they have beat is Good Boys, lost 1-3 to Timeless, 1-3 to Strix, 0-3 to Wisp, and then just lost 0-3 to Maryville Saints right there. Whereas O3 Splash, all but one of their series have gone to 5 games. The only one that wasn't was against Worldwide, who currently sit at the bottom of the standings. So O3 Splash hoping for an easier game today against Dragon Dance, but Dragon Dance do not want to make it easy for them. I mean, we have seen teams, battle hard against these top tier teams who are lower on the standings. I mean, you could see right here on O3 Splash, Afterlife, who are 1-4 themselves, went to 5 games against O3 Splash, and then Afterlife as well, ended up beating Pirates in Pajamas. So some of these lower tier teams can still beat the upper tier teams. It is just not nearly as common, but we're gonna have to see if Dragon Dance have the gusto in them to pull off the upset win.
Right. I mean, you cannot undermine the efforts of the teams, right? Regardless, even if O3 Splash has been doing really good, all of the maps that you're pointing out are going to map 5, and they take a while to get those wins, and that means that even though they are a really dominant team because they always come out on top, they're consistent and they play like you would expect from a contenders team. That means that it's not easy for them. Like, they cannot just go into a match and be like, oh yeah, we're going to win. All of them, like, showing what Contenders is all about. You may be the best, but sometimes there are other teams that are gonna challenge you. You need to play, like, with the as little mistakes as you can make. And I think that O3 Splash have been proving that they are a team that can absolutely win it all if they are able to just play at the level that they have been playing for a while now. And, Dragon Dance, they haven't had the best of luck, going against Timeless Ethereal, which one of the best teams right now. I would say it's absolutely dominant the way that they play, and they do win against Good Boys, which they did have a bit of a comeback. They've been doing really good as of late. I remember the other day they won 2 games in a row. The last week of Contenders that we were streaming, and I think we're in for it. We could be in for a surprise. We could be in for an upset or a really long map 5 that might show us that O3 Splash may not have it as free as we may think they have, but. We cannot tell until we go into the games. But hey, Pod, these rosters and Antarctic Peninsula, I think this is going to be an absolute pummel fest. It's gonna be such a going in, brawling it out. I don't know. Who do you think has the advantage here? This map, I don't think a lot of people like to play it, but when you're in Contenders and you can't avoid playing it, so.
I mean, I do have to give the momentum edge over to O3 Splash because, I mean, not only are they top of the leaderboards, they did just come off of a win, whereas Dragon Dance just came off of a 0-3 beatdown. So not the way that you want to go into your next match. But the best teams in the league are able to shake off their previous match and go on into the next one. So you don't want to harbor any feelings from losing into this match because it'll only make you more tilted, and we'll have to see how these two compositions play because right now it might not look like a total change right off the bat, but they are running some completely different compositions where Dragon Dance running more of the dive, whereas O3 Splash going with that brawl.
Right, and the dive is gonna allow for like a really great amount of pressure onto Shaq and Onda. Like, they are playing Brig Ana, that allows for a lot of security, but if they cannot deal with the monkey, they're gonna be in danger. And look at that, we're already seeing Infected going in with the monkey, applying that pressure, and they have to get out. Brawl is going to force him to play really careful or he'll die really quickly.
Yeah, Infected on this big gorilla, gonna just try and cause as much chaos as he can. We see O3 Splash trying to move in here, moving fish, taking that space that they can, but Dragon Dance are the ones who are capturing the point a little bit. Lukewarm, gotta be careful. Don't want to fall too early, but the ultimate's already so high for Lukewarm, who almost has the pulse bomb. The match has just begun, my friend. I believe he's going to be using that pretty soon. Moving Fish is going to be the first person to fall here. And it does look like, actually no, it's O3 Splash. Sorry, we had the name backwards. I was a little bit confused there for a second. I was like, wait a minute, I thought these rosters were different, but it is actually O3 Splash who come out with the first point. Biscuit, I was confused.
A bit of a technical spoof. It happens, we've solved it quickly. And you know what they have to solve on Dragon Dance? Oh, they have to solve that Ana kill because they just got onto O3 Splash. Without the Ana, they can just walk in for free. And look at that moving fish going in already.
That is going to be it. And here we go. Excal getting close. And this is 3 kills already for Dragon Dance at the use of only a nano boost. So a very cheap fight for them.
Yeah, that is going to be a fight that they don't even have to invest a lot. Petal absolutely giving them the reckoning with that Sojourn. But as they come back with O3 Splash, they do have Primal, which Shaq and Onda are going to have to do a lot to deal with it. And both they do have EMP, and an extremely dangerous ultimate. Getting them that 40% HP deficit as a 40% HP deficit, sorry. And the Nanos, well, they have every ultimate and they can take over this point.
Ooh, a nice EMP. Lukewarm going to be the one to pick up the kill onto Pete. And Infected, as he's going to getting nano, jumps out instead. Moving Fish going to be blown up there by the Pulse Bomb. Infected just trying to make as much space as he can. Picks up the kill onto Onda right there. No 3 Splash are going to secure this point. But Dragon Dance did get some good percentage to their name. Only used 1 ultimate with Onda's Rally right there. No 3 Splash using a lot for that fight, but did come out on top.
Dragon Dance are able to, of course, they're able to not use that many ultimates because they know that it's a losing fight. They use EMP, they use Pulse Bomb, and the problem is that they do have Rally as well on O3 Splash, and they can match that Ramatra ultimate. But I don't even have time to talk because look at that moving fish. They want the space, and they're taking it quickly.
They are going to take it quickly, and we see Pete popping that overclock. Isn't going to be enough for Dragon Dance to win the fight. Excal and him are going to get pretty low, but Pete falls to Infected's Primal Rage, and Moving Fish on the other side of everything, popping the solo Annihilation solo without his team, I mean. And Moving Fish just going to fall. Doesn't have any support from his team, no DPS or even supports to back him up. And ultimately, I think that's a big waste of an ultimate there.
Right, that ultimate's a little bit of an overcommitment. O3 Splash, they do manage to stick onto the point, but they only have a Pulse and a EMP, which could be more than winning on Dragon Dance. This nano has to be absolutely huge. Maybe onto Moving Fish to try and deny some of it, but Excal, what a kill into Lukewarm. This is going to open up the point perfectly.
Yeah, Excal gets another one, and that is a 2K for him so far. Moving Fish going to use that Nemesis form to pick up 2. And they're going to pick up this point right before O3 Splash get that 99. And I don't know how many percentage it needs to be to force an overtime, but I hope 4 is enough, because if you let O3 Splash win this and then secure the point, that might not be enough to force an overtime without anyone touching it.
Right, and without the overtime, that is going to be a little bit of trouble. Dragon Dance, they are doing so perfect. They are not doing as hot as we want, but they managed to get them to overtime, and that is going to help them, secure their mental for a little bit. This round, obviously lost. They take over the point. They have a sleep, but I don't think there's anything they can do to touch here, Bud.
They're trying to buy as much time as they can. Onda getting so close to the rally, but just going to get out damaged right there. Excal trying to touch, trying to do a lot. Moving Fish back on the Doomfist, trying to be a nuisance as much as he can. Just going to get antied up there and is going to fall. Petal diving in there, trying to pick up a kill. Does get one onto neutral, but I don't think it's going to be enough. And O3 Splash going to secure this first objective.
O3 Splash, look at the way that they just take over the point. Our Tartic Peninsula, one of the maps that most heavily leans into Brawl, and they are playing dive. They don't care. They know the game that they are trying to run, and they are executing it perfectly. Infected opens up the point, Boat and Lukewarm go in, and there's nothing that you can do about it. However, as we go into this one, Mei and Symmetra, the queens of this map. You cannot afford to go in with Winston. There are not enough sightlines. There are not enough places to jump and secure the kills. And on the Shaq, they move on to the more traditional Lucio and Bap. That is going to enable Moving Fish to just go in. If he ever falls low, Shaq just throws that Guardian Mode in there, and you're not killing him at all. And we see a little bit of a match in the DPS. Petal choosing to play the Sojourn, which, as we know, Sojourn gave them such an advantage. They gave them some kills that they wouldn't have gotten otherwise. So right now, OT Splash, they also match the Sojourn, which is going to allow for a lot of combats at range. And look at that, the first scrim already going down.
Yeah, the mirror composition so far going in the favor of Dragon Dance. Petal gets one onto neutral, and actually it's like O3 Splash doing the wraparound there, and it's actually going to pay off for them, picking up a kill onto XCal, but not before it's traded back onto Boat. Dragon Dance, they have the numbers advantage right now if they want to force this point. Someone is contesting, and it's going to be Infected, who's going to have to dive out, but look at Petal just getting another kill right there onto Lukewarm. Infected trying to buy as much time as he can, just space as well, contesting the point, but the point is finally going to go over to Dragon Dance. And Dragon Dance, you don't want to be too cocky right here. You only have Lucio heals for the time being, which is not enough to sustain someone like Uramacha fully. Is just going to use that block, though, to buy some time to keep himself up and just try and contest this point, because now is O3 Splash who are looking to try and be aggressive, trying to pick up a kill. And Annihilation going to be popped. It's going to pick up one. How many more can it get? Infected trying to pick up a kill onto Onda, and it isn't going to get it, but Moving Fish still going to fall, and the point going to go over to O3 Splash.
Showing us that, like, fights, even in contenders, become scrappy. Like, they take over the point, they push them out a little, like, it's a tug of war. We give a little, then we take a little. And Dragon Dance, they are pushed out, but they did not commit the ultimate like Infected did. So they can retake here with the overclock, they can retake with the wall. There's a lot of angles here to take, and they choose to go this long way. This sets up the window perfectly. And look at that, they're already using it on both teams.
Yeah, and they're actually just going to run around the window. It's not going to do a whole lot, but Lukewarm going to pick up the kill onto XCal. The beat is going to be dropped by Onda, and Petal gets the kill onto Deco right there. Annihilation is going to be committed by Dragon Dance. Is this the fight that they really want? Onda and Shaq trying to 2v1 Infected right there, who is just going to have to back off. Does not want to get too far in there, and it is going to cost him his life, actually. So it is Dragon Dance who secure the point. Overclock going to be used by Lukewarm. Gets one, gets two. Can he get another one? He's certainly looking for it, and he does get onto Petal there. Luke, when he gets another one onto XCal. Lukewarm, have a fight, my friend.
That loss is so costly, Pod. They get the 40% of point, of course, that you cannot take that away from them, but they invested Annihilation, they invested Overclock, and they invested all their support tools. They can only use XCal's Blizzard, which has to be huge. O3 Splash, they are coming up on Annihilation, then they can absolutely get into the middle of this fight. They need to play this one quickly if they want to get the most out of their own Blizzard.
Yeah, XCal with the Blizzard wants to make it a good one, and here it goes, picking off the target that you want to find. And Infected is surely going to go down here. The Immortality Field actually going to keep him up for a little bit longer, but Boat is going to fall just the same with him. Dragon Dance are going to secure this. No amount of touch on the point out of Deco is going to make enough difference. Neutral going to fall as well, and they stop O3 Splash before they can get more than 80%, only having to use one ultimate.
Only using one ultimate is so good for them. And right now, Dragon Dance, although they do win that, they are coming back on O3 Splash with the Annihilation, and they do have the window. The window is going to make it so that Moving Fish cannot even block. That X 2 times damage is so insane, Pod, to the point that tanks don't even look like tanks. Lukewarm looking here for the off angle, and if they manage to get a random pick here on whoever it is, they can win it. The window here, they deny the push and they have to rotate. O3 Splash, they have 2 ultimates, and if they invest them, they might just win, and they cannot touch again on Dragon Dance.
A good use of the window out of Shaq there, but another counter window out of neutral isn't going to make any type of difference. Infected brought below half HP, and now is Moving Fish, who was cut off from the rest of his team to beat, having to be committed out of Onda just to keep his tank alive. But 2 Annihilations are going to be used, and Infected is getting very low down. It's actually going to fall, and he's going to fall to Petal right there. It is not going to matter what type of tank that you have. Overclock was committed out of Petal, who picks up the kill, and it does look like Lukewarm has an overclock of his own. Deco gonna get another one. O3 Splash, they did secure the point during all of this pandemonium. Dragon Dance having to swap to those heroes that can run really fast and get on the point. Moving Fish over on the Doomfist is going to be able to touch, so it is not going to be the end of the world for Dragon Dance just yet. Petal on the Soldier 76, XCal on that Tracer. Can they find a fight? And Moving Fish gets a pick onto Boat.
Oh.
That is a big pick for them.
Hello?
They got to stay on this point, though. You step off of it, and it's going to be it. Moonfish does fall, but so does Deco. XCal is going to be the next one, sending back to the spawn room. A 3v1, though. Petal on the Soldier 76, getting some nice damage onto Lukewarm, having to force Lukewarm away. And now it is Dragon Dance who have the priority here. XCal coming back with an ultimate very soon. And Neutral not able to get to the point just yet. 99 to 99. Lukewarm does touch, though, having used that recall a little bit early. Boat back on the Genji. Both teams have a Doomfist. Mark that one off of your bingo boards. XCal gets the pick onto Neutral. A nice stick onto Infected. Makes it going to be a 3v2. XCal trying to get some more. Boat manages to get a kill onto Petal there. Moving Fish gonna kick off Lukewarm, and no amount of stalling is gonna stop it. We're going to a third objective. Dragon Dance secure it.
I'm just saying, Moving Fish looking like an unstoppable force on the Doomfist. They just deny any sort of touch or presence. Like, of course, Doomfist, one of the weaker tanks right now, but if he's on a 1v1, he's going to interrupt you, and he's gonna force you off of the point. That switch, like, it looks like they are losing because O3 splashes every ultimate, but then the way that they juggle point, like Moving Fish goes in, then XCal, then Petal, and then, like, the target priority on the Tracer, that just makes it so that Dragon Dance can retake over that point. I'm telling you, if it's Contenders, it doesn't matter if you're the best team right now. You commit a singular mistake, and even a bottom of the leaderboard team could get you on it. And right now, we see a switch Dragon Dance. They choose to commit onto the D.Va. The D.Va is going to be a really good counter pick onto the Monkey. This denies a lot of Sombra's presence. The damage is going to get eaten. And Monkey, known for being very weak to D.Va counter life. So be on the lookout, because that is going to be what Dragon Dance is going to be playing for. They are looking for the counter life, and the Monkey goes in. The D.Va has to play away too much damage. And the point presence is going to be established by O3 Splash very early pod.
Yeah, but something I have my eyes on is Petal on this Cassidy, who can really make Infected's life difficult. You know, throwing that Hinder Grenade can just make this Monkey very immobile all of a sudden, and it already works to pick off Boat. So it is O3 Splash who are down a man, and they got to be careful that they don't get too deep into here. They are going to have to jump off the point. Lukewarm is just trying to buy some time to get some extra percentage, and it's actually going to be no percentage at all. No one had even secured the point, so Dragon Dance are the ones who secure first.
Dragon Dance securing first. Look at that. This is already an upset. This could be an upset, just as you're saying. Dragon Dance, they managed to establish over the point, but it's not like O3 Splash is out here. Look at that. The tank is going to be here on top, trying to establish presence. The bubble is wasted, however, and they don't manage to get in here like completely comfortably, because Dragon Dance is still here. They still have their pulse zone coming up, and that data is going to deny a lot of the sun. But Moving Fish in a little bit of stuff place right here. The D-Mega is going to happen, and this is going to be a move out for Dragon Dance.
Yeah, can't go anywhere if your D.Va falls, but they did get 27% to their name, so over a fourth of the way there for this point. Lukewarm looking for a try of flank, and he manages to pick up a kill. Petal actually does onto Boat, but a nice stick going to get two! Oh. Lukewarm getting that flank kill right there. Doesn't matter what type of Cassidy play you have, if your support and one of your other DPSs fall. O3 Splash, after what looked like a good fight out of Dragon Dance, after Petal got a kill, then a nano, just goes the way of O3 Splash, and now O3 Splash, they have some good ultimates to their name, have the EMP, they have the rally coming up, and a nice nano onto Infected, who's just gonna jump into every single member of Dragon Dance, but it's just gonna have to jump out.
Yeah, they cannot commit here fully, because if they do, that's going to be a really easy stagger. Oh, they splash one an EMP!
And a nice EMP picks up a kill onto Petal there, who thought he was safe. Boat does get out with the translocator, and Dragon Dance trying to get some percentage going, trying to get anything. Infected is stalling on the point as long as he can. Onda is going to fall. Moving Fish was so incredibly low as well, had gotten antied, and Infected, he's just taking a nap, and he does have to use the primal to keep himself alive, and Moving Fish thought it was a good opportunity to use the self-destruct, but it's actually just going to fall to the hands of Boat, and O3 Splash in a very good position to continue their dominance and force maybe even a final fight territory.
O3 Splash, yeah, they can force it, and even though the Pulse Bomb could have sealed the deal right there, this is going to be really hard, moving into a rally, moving it into an upcoming nano and the EMP, but look at that, Dragon Dance is not giving up.
They are going to continue their foot on the gas. Moving Fish swapped off the Diva and is now on to the big Gorilla himself. So Gorilla v Gorilla fighting. Who are you going to pick? Excal says, I pick neutral. And that's a nice pulse bomb onto him. Overtime clock is ticking down. Dragon Dance need to make sure they stay on this point and do not C9 it. Does look like Infected is going to fall to Excal right there. The rally was used, but Deco is not going to get anything out of it. Tracer trying to kill the other Tracer. Whose money do you want to put it on? Lukewarm is going to fall. Dragon Dance are going to secure this point, and Petal swapped off of the Cassie a long time ago, apparently, is on to the Ashe now, which I'm a big fan of.
The Ashe is going to allow for a lot of poke, but I don't know if this is the pick. Dragon Dance, of course, they can establish a lot of more point presence because the Ashe is just going to make it so your monkey cannot go in without being poked. But they have Sombra, they have Tracer, and Infected's monkey is something to be very worried about. But I trust they know what they're doing. But look at that 0-3 splash. Both devious on that EMP. They're looking for an EMP onto the monkey.
Oh, and that is the pick they need. The anti-grenade going to finish it off for neutral. And now Dragon Dance don't have a tank to their name. Infected going to get nanoed up and just going to run through every single member of Dragon Dance. That Tesla cannon doing so much work. And oh, what a snipe from downtown with it as well. 0-3 splash going to take map 1.
0-3 splash, they just took advantage of every single mistake that Dragon Dance was doing. Like Moving Fish, they try to go in a little bit forward, right? They try to establish some point presence, and then the second that they think that they can move onto the backline, the second that you think that they're gonna get an aggressive play, they get EMP'd and absolutely bursted. And look at Infected. Infected and the monkey occupying so much space. This is the kind of tank that I want in my games. They know what they are doing and they are not committing any sort of like small mistakes, and this is what Contenders is going to be all about. And I'm just saying, 0-3 splash, they didn't like, you know, just run them over. They were of course making it really competitive, but looking like they have some their coordination is just on another level, Pod.
Yeah, and I think the coordination really shines, you know, with that last fight, the EMP and just the deletion of Moving Fish. All cylinders were firing for them. They knew what target they needed to kill, and they made sure to kill him before the team fight even happened. And Dragon Dance, they put up a good fight. They are going to fall in that first map, so it is going to be their map choice, going into this hybrid. And I've seen a lot of teams going for Numbani for hybrid. We will have to see if that is where Dragon Dance, opt for as well, or if they swap it up a little bit. But 0-3 Splash looking to continue their domination over all Contenders teams so far. They're not wanting to drop a map or even more a series to Dragon Dance, because keep in mind, if they go up 2-0 here, Dragon Dance, I mean, they will be 0-5 in their last 5 maps. They're 0-4 right now. So, the mental, I can already, just probably hear their comms a little bit. Maybe they're a little bit aggravated with one another. Maybe they're just frustrated at the very least. You just got to shake it off, though. You got to move on to the next map. You just cannot dwell on the previous parts of the series.
It can be absolutely frustrating, and I get it. It's you're playing at a really high level. You really want to win, but some teams just don't let you do it. But I do think that Dragon Dance, like, if you're in Contenders, your mental game is also at another level. This is not only about mechanics. These are teams that have been playing for a while. These are teams that they know how to go around. And that's what I like to see the most. So I would like Dragon Dance to keep putting up a fight, because you cannot give up after what happened last map. It's not like they were just losing. Like, you saw how they retook. Like, they were losing, and then they switch onto the Doom, and out of nowhere, with no ultimate charge, they just take it off of 0-3 Splash. And if you're taking games, if you're taking maps off of one of the best, almost inarguably one of the best team right now in Contenders, then that means that you're doing something right. So I don't think, Pod, that this is just going to be a game that is already sealed away. Like, oh, they lost. You know what? Let's go watch another one. I feel like something great could happen, and the map pick here on hybrid could change things very, very wildly.
Yeah, I mean, never get too comfortable. If you are 0-3 Splash, you cannot just take it easy. Oh, we're playing a lower tier team. We can just win easy. Oh, we don't got to worry about it. No, these teams, all of them are exceptionally good players, exceptionally high ranked at their particular position and everything like that, working well together can make all of the difference. But I said it a little bit ago, with a lot of focus around maps like Numbani, and that is exactly where Dragon Dance have chosen for this hybrid map. It's going to be Numbani, and hopefully they're able to play the dive composition a little bit better than O3 Splash, because I think that is the king of compositions on Numbani is this dive. Because I mean, you can try and play brawl on it, but it is just not nearly as good as having a Winston that can just dive in there. And I mean, Infected, what an amazing Winston performance on that third objective of Antarctic Peninsula. So maybe that can translate over to Numbani and make all the difference for them.
Right. It's just when it's Numbani, this is definitely going to be Infected's playground, because Numbani, with all that high ground, with all of these different routes that you can be taking, it allows for dive compositions to just thrive. This is not going to be your Reinhardt map in which you're playing it slowly. This is going to be, hey, I call someone and they have to die immediately. So going to test out a lot of players' patience, going to test out a lot of how the rotations go. You cannot afford, for example, on your Ana to play in a bad position, because the second that she even touches something like a bad position, she is going to die. So trust me, Numbani is going to be one of those games that is going to go by really quickly, and it could swing either way. I do think that this is the kind of map that you want to see on O3 Splash. We saw them playing Monkey, and this looks like could be a comfort pick for both teams. So if I'm Dragon Dance, I'm not very comfortable. This is the map that you chose, so you're definitely cooking up something here, but you have to know your opponent, and your opponent is really good at a specific dive comp with a really good tank, so do not get comfortable at all.
Do not get comfortable. That is the name of the game. And I like what you said, about the Ana compositions. And it's like, I've seen a lot of teams, and probably O3 Splash and Dragon Dance included, run the Brigitte Ana. Just having that extra protection for your Ana with a Brigitte, being able to stay next to her and protect her. And looky there, am I a prophet or am I a prophet? Both of these teams running the Brigitte Ana, though. Dragon Dance, a little bit of a different choice for them. XCal and Petal going on the Echo and Hanzo respectively. Infected, he was just he was just on a phone call. He was just making some important business decisions, but namely that of trying to win this second map.
You can't be rude. You gotta let Infected think.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I interrupted his phone call. I should have let him finish. It's my apologies.
And look at that, though. The only difference in these comps, and this is like the standard comp you want to play, we could have seen, for example, the Mercy on the Echo. Hey, let me talk. Look at that. Fish is so aggressive. They want to go in. And just as I was saying, Lukewarm is going to look for a lot of really good pokes here onto the backline. But Petal, if a singular pixel of your head is exposed, and trust me, you're going to have a good time on your one-way trip to spawn.
Yeah, those arrows, they might be very small models, but they can really do some damage if they hit anyone in the proper critical areas. And right now, Moving Fish just trying to make space, trying to knock the supports of O3 Splash off that high ground, and it's actually Dragon Dance who pick up the first blood. Petal is going to pick up a kill onto Boat, and now it is all gas, no brakes for Dragon Dance. Get another kill onto Lukewarm. Both DPS have fallen for O3 Splash, and I don't really think there's anything that they can do to try and recontest here.
Right, they already got an open with Petal, and that is what they're going to be playing for. Lukewarm and Boat, they have really good dice, so Petal's poke is going to be so hard, but look at that, they have a recontest here.
Oh, they get the nano off as well as the primal onto Infected, so they're able to make something going. Moving Fish though dove in onto the backline of O3 Splash, and actually picks up a kill onto Deco, and now it's only a matter of time before the lack of supports comes back to bite Dragon Dance. And here we see it already, onto trying to do something, but the stick not going to land, and Dragon Dance going to secure this point. And I think the only thing that the recontest of O3 Splash did there was fuel some of the ultimates for Dragon Dance.
Right, and fueling their ultimates is going to cost them so So much more than what they think. Giving them ultimates is just the kind of mistake that you don't want to see. But as we go into this Dragon Dance, they are playing extremely aggressive and they are taking over the position. Look at this. Excal's Echo is going to get so much damage in, and although Petal is playing the Hanzo and he might look like a damable target, that damage that they're putting up with the Phantom Arrows, with the Dragons, with everything that they have is going to be so free for them. Look at that. The Primal is going in. It doesn't find anything, but it gives them card space, and they cannot take that away from them.
Yeah, and Petal actually headshots Boat right out of the duplication. Both Echoes are down, though. Lukewarm off to the side here, just going to be pushed out by Moving Fish. Infected chilling up there on the high ground. Just wants to be as much of a nuisance as he can. Is just going to be slept up and is going to be eliminated. Dragon Dance running through the second point with very little contest out of O3 Splash.
And O3 Splash, look at that. They are trying to set a couple of their own plays, but Dragon Dance is just looking so dominant here. Petal taking the off angle, and that is what the Hanzo allows them to do. But look at that, the rally comes in on Excalibur. They find a kill either way.
Counter rally going to be used by Onda right there, but they are already fighting 4v5. Dragon Dance have the numbers advantage, and they're trying to secure this. Someone's buying some time on the point. Boat going to be the first one to fall. Moving Fish is going to jump on top of Neutral right there. Neutral going to get the Nano off onto Infected, though. Another Nano going to be used onto Moving Fish, who was antied, so he doesn't get the heal, but I don't think it matters. You got to stay on this point if you are O3 Splash to deny anything, and the Primal is going to be committed. Lukewarm, make sure to get a kill onto Xcal right there, and Infected doing a great job of just, being annoying, just staying on this point. Lukewarm, though, is going to fall in Dragon Dance. They've got the numbers again, and they are going to secure this point.
They secure the point with 4 minutes possible. And in Contenders, 4 minutes is forever. O3 Splash, and that is going to be such a costly defeat, just as we saw in Antarctic. They lose their Pulse Bomb. Lukewarm has no ultimate charge, and the Nano is nowhere close to allow Infected to go in. And Dragon Dance, they have the Dragons, they have the Copy, which is going to extend fights for a long, long time. And Moving Fish can dive so easily with Primal, and look at that, the Copy is coming out already.
Yeah, the Copy went onto the Ana, though. I don't know if that was the target that Xcal was looking for, but maybe I am wrong. Maybe he was cooking up something in the kitchen, hoping it's not some burnt popcorn. He does fall to Boat right there. Infected jumping in there, trying to, remain on that high ground, trying to buy as much time as he can for his team to push back up. And we see O3 Splash making a bit of a change to their composition. Lukewarm onto the Sojourn.
Right, the Sojourn is going to be a lot of extra damage. At this point, it's a little bit better. They have some sightlines they can abuse, like that of Ulmer. Lukewarm playing really good angles right here, trying to get a little bit of damage, and they get a kill. Shaq is going to be out, and Dragon Dance cannot push in with other support.
Oh, but Boat does fall. Petal picks up the kill with the Sonic Arrow right there, so maybe they are still able to try and get some progress going. The rally going to be committed out of Onda right there. Lukewarm, you got to be careful. You don't fall to this Winston so incredibly low, and he does get him through the wall. No amount of spawn room protection is going to save you from the Gorilla with a Tesla cannon. Xcal trying to burn down the shield of Infected. Infected is the only one besides Boat who's on this point. The duplication not online just yet. 55%. Petal getting very close to, wanting that, but a nice stick onto Shaq right there. O3 Splash winning this fight so far, and Dragon Dance having to concede the space, though they got very close to securing this last point.
The fight started really bad for both teams, losing one of their members, and then Infected gets nanoed. And, if it's Infected nano, I don't think you can do anything about it. That's inevitable. But Dragon Dance, however, they do have their own Copy coming through. And with Copy, this is going to be a fight that is very even for them, if not winning, because they almost have 4 ultimates on board. And that Echo's going to fight so much damage. And Lukewarm, see you later. Petal saw your head, and now you're down for the count.
Yeah, and that does force Infected to pop the Prime a little bit early, and he's going to be taking a bit of a nap. Not something he wants to do when you use that ultimate. And the Nano apparently had gone on to Moving Fish there, who wasn't able to get anything. Rally going to be used out of Deco, though. So Boat is going to fall to Xcal, and Xcal gets another one right before he falls. So numbers advantage for Dragon Dance. This is the time they need. Moving Fish almost securing the kill onto Lukewarm there, who does manage to get back to safety and had apparently popped the overclock. Petal getting a kill with the Dragons. Moving Fish going to make sure Neutral goes back to the spawn room. Rally going to be committed out of Onda right there. And Dragon Dance secured this final point with over a minute in the time bank.
Well, hey, it's Petal's world and we're just living in it because these shots with with Hanzo, so some people thought that he was out of meta because brawl comps they don't allow him to one shot, and if you're playing Echo you might as well play Sombra, you play Tracer, but Petal he's gonna do his own thing. He has the aim, he has the mechanics, and he can make your team suffer. 1 minute of a time bank, of course, not as big as 2 minutes, 3 minutes. It's a minute, and a minute in Overwatch, as we've established before, that's more than enough to make a team play very scared. And O3 Splash, they get overwhelmed on defense. But as we move into offense, I think this could be more of like their cup of tea. They do have, for example, Lukewarm on both, extremely good DPS that have been playing flankers. Look at that, the egg on the Tracer have been locked in. And Shaq and Anda are just going to be playing absolutely terrified here. But they stick to their comps and they know what they are doing. Moving Fish is going to allow Anda and Shaq to get their antis. They are going to play really aggressive on those. And look at Lukewarm on both. They are going to fly in and they're going to get every kill that they can. Although Dragon Dance, if I may say, they do have an advantage here on defense that Hanzo allows for so much poke to the point that Infected might not be able to even go in. And then what if Boat gets one shot? The whole push just dies. So really good defensive comp from the side of Dragon Dance, and O3 Splash, they can open them up with their own comp, but it's we're going to see. I don't know how this one's going to go because Dragon Dance is looking really good on Umbani pod.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of teams, run a sniper on defense of Numbani, whether that is Hanzo or maybe even something like the Ash. It has worked so well being able to use that high ground, being able to just provide some extra poke for your team with the dive. And Infected wants to continue to dive onto this, and Anda almost going to get blown up immediately, having to be saved by Shaq, and it's actually Infected who is going to fall. And that is where dive either lives or dies on this map. If you are able to get the pick within the first few seconds, then you just automatically steamroll the fight. But if they live in any shape or form, you are just going to die, and there's nothing you can do about it. And Infected seeing that firsthand, and Petal realizing something was up. He's like, I haven't seen that Tracer in a little while. I wonder where she is. And Lukewarm just chilling back there, wanting to try and get a cheeky little kill right there, and actually going to force Dragon Dance off that high ground. XCal going to be the one to fall first. Lukewarm on the point, trying to make something go. Moving Fish trying to get a contest on there, is going to jump all the way to the opposing high ground. You can still drop down to contest here if you want, just to buy some time for your team. And it is actually Petal who picks up a kill onto Boat. Dragon Dance, you could not step off the point for even a second. 96.8. They will secure this point if you let them. And the nano is going to be committed. I don't really know who it was used onto, but Petal gonna pop the ultimate onto the point just to get some extra damage, and is actually going to get one kill onto Lukewarm. Petal having a day on this Hanzo pick. Dragon Dance almost blundering right there, stepping off of the point, allowing for O3 to capture, and that's certainly what O3 want them to do. Moving Fish trying to pick up the kill onto Deco there. He's going to pop the primal, and goodbye, Petal. You're going to fall off the map, my friend. Deco, I'm sure, got the same treatment. Infected trying to run away from the opposing gorilla, but it's not going to matter. Does it like Dragon Dance are able to hold?
Dragon Dance, they look like they got pushed away, Pod, and in the blink of an eye, just as I was saying, you make a little mistake, you don't punish them enough, and that means that they're going to recontest Petal. What looked like a random dragon, it manages to get a pick, and then Fish can just go in and like just conduct his little reign of terror on the other team. And look at that, they don't have the nano, and they do have nano, rally, and copy on this side of Dragon Dance coming up real soon. So this is an entirely possible hold. We might see a full hold.
And you see Boat swapping on to the Hanzo, whereas Petal is not looking forward to having another Hanzo on the map. XCal had swapped onto the Ana, trying to build up a nano right there. I'm sure is going to pop it here soon. Moving Fish is going to be the subject of Shaq's nano right there. O3 Splash getting very close to capturing this point. The contest is going to come out. XCal going to fall. O3 Splash, they have the 4-5 advantage, making a 4-3 advantage. O3 4-2. It is, everyone is dying. They have the numbers advantage. Dragon Dance going to falter here, but a very nice first point hold out of them.
Right, and Dragon Dance, they just aren't able to like seal the deal. XL, they copy the Ana, they try to go for aggressive plays, but if moving fish just doesn't get enough time to push in, they cannot take advantage of the antis, they don't even get the nano. And right now Infected has a big portion of the map closed out. This is their map and this is going to be neutral, just keeping them up
Uh-oh.
forever. Lukewarm goes in, what a devious little plan. And if this finds someone, this could be a very carefree push.
Oh, a nice dodge on the sleep dart. Doesn't have a recall available, so you gotta play a little bit safer. Oh, and
Oh.
the shot from downtown XCal must have been literally 1 HP for that to kill him. And now Dragon Dance, gotta be careful. You do not have one of your DPS, and a sticky bomb not going to get anything. But O3 Splash, they do not need any pulse bomb to win this fight. They are going to win here, going to be able to have 3 members on the cart to push here, try and get some extra time going into the 3rd point.
And look at that, Infected is taking the space, securing the point so that they cannot contest on Dragon Dance. And what looked like a really confident, almost full health, has transformed into a 3 minute and 30 seconds timer that they do have. Like, they might just be able to do it, like, in even more time than Dragon Dance did. Now, they only have their ultimate on the side of the monkey, and Petal, they need to get the buff almost immediately. But their Nano Rally is coming in, and look at that, the fight is breaking out with a lot of ultimates in play.
Yeah, it's going to be 2 gorillas for the side of O3 Splash. Boat on the Winston, trying to build up the primal as fast as he can. Not going to be able to, though. He is going to be eliminated by Shaq right there, but he does manage to escape with his life. Infected, though, running rampant through the backline of Dragon Dance. Does pick up kill onto Petal, but Infected does fall anyways, so it doesn't matter too much. The Pulse Bomb is going to go wide for Lukewarm. XCal's got the Pulse Bomb himself, so you got to be careful. Do not want to find yourself on the wrong end of a Reddit clip. O3 Splash paused for now, not able to make much more progress.
Right, and look at that. On the Shaq's little nano on the side of Onda, keeping them alive just makes so that they can hold this whole point down. And Petal's Bob is coming out, the Pulse Bomb doesn't find anything, and the dive is going in. They are forced on the rally, and the fight is so crazy immediately.
Yeah, Infected diving in onto the backline of Dragon Dance. Neutral does get the kill onto Moving Fish, though, so O3 Splash, they have a tank advantage, but Bob is online if Petal decides to use it. And Petal, nice headshot onto Boat right there. The cart so incredibly close to getting this point. O3 Splash, a little bit over 2 minutes to work with. They have 1 ultimate to work with as well with Bolt's duplication right there, but Dragon Dance just have 3. They got too much to their name. The Nano Boost is going to be committed. Oh, but
yeah, look at that.
But it's nothing's going to come out of it. Moving Fish just not able to get anything. Gets anti and has to back out.
Right, they cannot commit right here. Look, they are forced out because Petal's Bob could be huge. And on this rally is going to deny the push as well. Look at that. They get the copy immediately burnt.
The copy going to be immediately burnt, and Bob is going to be thrown on the point. Petal gets the kill onto Boat. Dragon Dance making a very impressive hold. Onda did use that rally, though, so it wasn't only a one-fight fight. But Moving Fish just trying to make as much space for his team so Petal can get up there and get some nice shots to build up the Bob again. I don't think he can build up another Bob in time, but I mean, I can easily be proven wrong. He's already back at 20%, 1:15 on the time bank.
And they are not letting go at all. Moving Fish goes in on the backline and they have to play for the counter dive. The antis are out, but the primal, they do not care. They are going in, they want their Bob, and if they can get their ultimates on line pod, they can hold this for the rest of this minute.
Yeah, I don't really know if I agree with using the primal raids out of Moving Fish. I think you're really going to regret not having that for the final fight. It doesn't like Infected got nanoed up there. Might be able to eliminate Petal, but going to be just held by support, but it's not going to matter. O3 Splash, they are winning this fight. 3 members down for Dragon Dance, but it's not going to matter. They're just going to get this point. They are going to get at least a minute of time to work with. But Dragon Dance almost holding O3 Splash entirely, and they are the ones who come out on top with the time bank.
And they don't manage to pull out the hold as we were expecting. However, they do have a larger time bank that they have on the side of O3 Splash, and 30 seconds. That is a fight pod. And if you have even just one extra fight, I would do anything for one extra fight on a competitive game like this. And just taking it to the absolutely next level. Dragon Dance, they are looking real confident. Petal, of course, they cannot sustain when the Infected gets nanoed. Like, the nano just absolutely securing what would have been an almost lost fight. But O3 Splash on attack here. They have 1 minute. And Dragon Dance, if they can hold this, they might just turn it around and put their own numbers up on the board. But look at that, Pod. The Petal no longer on the Hanzo. They choose the Reaper. Infected, you're going to get absolutely burnt down, and I don't think they are expecting it.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think O3 Splash are going to expect Petal to run the Reaper. And this could be the amount of surprise that they need, because when you only have a minute, you don't have much time at all to make changes and adapt. So O3 Splash got to work with what you got if you want any chance at, building some ultimate shards to your name. And Petal making sure he stays back here and does not reveal himself, because if you reveal that there's a Reaper, it can really deter Infected away from diving in there, and you want Infected to dive in so he can get blown up. But XCal gonna get blown up, and Petal manages to pick off Infected. The plan works, and now you are without your tank, and you have to run back, and Infected types in chat, why? He knows dang well why, though. O3 Splash do manage to pick up a kill onto Shaq, though, so they are the ones who have the priority. They are the ones who are able to capture this point. Maybe not, though. Moving Fish might try and get some type of touch here. Is going to dive and get on the point, but he's just going to meet his demise, and no longer is a draw possible. Dragon Dance have to make sure they stop this cart before it gets too far gone.
Right, and Petal is still on the Reaper. That first fight, O3 Splash got the Bishop on Xcal, but they got the Queen on Infected, and Infected gets anti that they have to get out. Petal's job here is just to deny the Monkey's presence, and if they can kill them at the beginning of the fight, the push goes nowhere, Pod. But Vote's copy is going to allow for effectively 2 health bars on their side, and if you can get an ultimate too while on your way out, that is going to be huge. The Nano, however, is on board for Infected, and Dragon Dance looking very bad on the ultimate side. They need to get them quickly, or this might become a second capture.
Yeah, Petal close to the Death Blossom. XCal close to the duplication. And he's going to be nanoed up there. He's going to be able to get some nice ult charge out of it. Boat used the duplication onto Moving Fish's Winston. And it is not going to fall, but Boat gets a pick onto Petal. Boat does fall out of the duplication, though. XCal going to use a counter duplication onto Infected's Winston, and Boat picks up a kill onto Moving Fish. And O3 Splash, they are just winning these fights somehow. XCal manages to get the Primal Rage to keep him alive, but Boat have a nice round, my friend. Just doing everything for O3 Splash, it seems. And Biscuit, you are exactly right. They might just be able to secure this second point.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't have your ultimates early, if you cannot secure them, that is going to be bad for you. But the Blossom might be absolutely huge here.
Petal doesn't even care that there is a Tracer right there, but he sees the rally was committed and dives in a little bit too late. So unlucky for him. Dragon Dance just not being able to hold O3 Splash, and this is the snowball. Infected get a kill onto Shaq right there. This is where it all goes downhill for Dragon Dance. They had such a good offense, such a good defense in the first round, but then going into extra rounds, oh no. This is about as worse of an outcome as you could have anticipated. And they only have 2 ultimates to their name. Shaq is getting close to the Nano, but you gotta use them wisely.
That is fine, though. Petal didn't use their Blossom. It looked like a bad play. It looked really funny, but they still have it for this fight, and they could secure it. Petal, they need to use the Great, and if they can get at least a kill with Blossom, they can win this. The Nano is online, and it's probably going to go into Moving Fish, who can dive the backline, but he's burning, and they need to use it.
Oh, they pop it onto Petal there, who I assume really wanted to use that Death Blossom, but is still able to get some nice damage. And Death Blossom is just going to be bonked away, but it does force out Boat's duplication. But Petal's still going to fall. It doesn't even matter. O3 Splash winning this fight. That bomb not going to kill anyone. Dragon Dance, they are in disarray. They do not know what to do here. Moving Fish going to get onto the point, but it's just going to fall. O3 Splash running away with the show. Boat getting incredibly low. XCal in the back trying to make some type of play. Petal is on the Widowmaker of all heroes, maybe to try and get a pick, but he does. He gets a pick on the look. He gets 2. Petal gets 2 picks, but is it going to be enough? 3 picks. O3 Splash, they are not wanting to say die. Moving Fish on the Doomfist. We saw what he did on Antarctic Peninsula. Can he do it again? Infected on the point. He is going to fall. Deco gets the kill. It is a 1v2. And O3 Splash get all 3 points with only 1 minute on the time bank. Biscuit, do my eyes deceive me?
That's hey Pod, I gotta confirm with you. That's a 6-3. That's a 6-3 on contenders. And look at that infected looking. They are mad. They don't like the Reaper. And that rage, it gets them to the 6th point. And I'm just saying, the only thing that they can do on the side of Dragon Dance is tie this one. And you have a minute and 30. And I'm just saying, if you just got full capped, when you have the advantage, when you have the counter pick on Reaper, they didn't even switch out of the monkey that whole time pod. And they still lost. That is so bad for your mental. You must be shattered. And infected, they are having such a fun time. And now O3 Splash. I'm just saying, but this might just be easy pickings for them. You have 3 points that you know that you can hold with absolute confidence. And Dragon Dance, this is not looking good for them, but you know, you cannot count them out. We've seen worse. We've seen miracles happen on screen, and right now, Deco, Neutral, Onda, and Shaq, the game is on their hands, in my opinion. If they can get some antis going, then it's going to shut down pushes. And we saw them during the end of 6 point, right? You saw Deco with that whip shot just boop out Pedal's Reaper and deny a push that would have a defense that could have stopped them at the half of the last point. So the small plays, the stuff that we cannot see, might change this one around. But I'm just saying, Dragon Dance has the tallest of hills to climb, and X-Skull's pick that might just be the beginning of a very, very, very bad journey.
Yeah, I mean, if you're able to push in here and secure this point a little bit early, and then with the escort portion, actually have some time in the bank. A trade of DPSs, though. Dragon Dance is the ones who have the numbers advantage, though. It is only infected. Boat is now alive, but he's not near the point just yet. They're going to try and secure this as fast as they can to have some time in the bank for the actual escort portion, which is actually pretty massive when you think about it.
50 seconds, Pod, and I'm just saying they capped it faster than O3 did with not as much risk, but it's still 30 seconds to go the whole way. However, let's look at the positives. X-Skull, Pedal coming up on their ultimates, and even though Pulse Bomb is not the biggest of ultimates, it may not be a Junker Queen Rampage, but it could be huge, and Moving Fish looking very risky here, but Shaq is going to get that ultimate charge, and that Nano could swing the game very wildly. None of these teams have ultimates, so it's going to be pure fundamentals.
Pure fundamentals is sometimes all you need. Pedal getting very low there. Does have to use the recall to stay alive. Boat trying to build up that duplicate. So incredibly close to it, 80% just about. But XCal is very similarly in the same boat. No pun intended. And overtime is ticking down right there. Moving Fish getting very close to that primal rage. Pedal has got the Pulse Bomb available. A Pulse Bomb on the Moving Fish. Boat is going to fall as well, so it is a 4v4. And what a nice counter stick onto Deco. So O3 Splash not able to withstand the power of Dragon Dance so far, and Pedal running rampant through the backline.
Hold me for this one, Pop. Hold me, because this might just happen. They have the copy, they have the Nano, the Rally, and the Primal Rage. They haven't invested. They only invested Pulse Bombs, which are absolutely huge. Lukewarm and Pedal, they are in a tug of war, and they do not want to let go of this rope. This might just be a 5th point cap, but they want to go and look at that infected in position, but they do not take it. 1 point away from one of the sickest ties that could happen. There's going to be 4 ultimates versus 4 ultimates. The same ultimates for both teams, and look at that, the Nano, and we're going in.
The Nano's going to go in, and Onda is the first target, but Boat falls as well. Boat seems to fall at the start of every single fight, but O3 Splash, they have the numbers advantage right now. Lukewarm gets a pick onto Shaq. There are no supports alive for Dragon Dance. Is this the fight that O3 Splash want? In fact, it gets one onto XCal. It is only a Winston and a Tracer buying time. You cannot step off this point for even a second. Moving Fish is going to fall. The rally going to be committed out of Onda there. The Kitsune has been summoned. Shaq is on the Kiriko, and Pedal gets a kill onto Deco. Is this the fight that they want? Boat had swapped over to the Brigitte with the duplication. It is only Pedal alive. The Doomfist has arrived, and he manages to get the touch off. Moving Fish trying to buy as much time as he can. Is he going to be pushed off? No, he's going to fall. And O3 Splash secure the win. 6 points to 5 points. Biscuit, The last time I have seen a game go into nearly extra rounds was back on Overwatch 1 with Volskaya Industries. I don't
Yeah.
know if I've ever seen it in Overwatch 2 so far, but O3 Splash and Dragon Dance almost taking us to that point. What a great game number 2.
That was a game that's just crazy. That was a game of all time. It's Ultimate Splash. So, look, what can I say? They go in, and then they just start winning. But then they start pushing back, right? But then it's like a 6, a 5, and then they have the Reaper, but the Reaper doesn't work. And then Ultimate Splash just pushes it to 6 because Deco gets like the most massive whip shot on Petals, Reaper,
Yes.
Blossom. Like such like little plays that you think that they are not going to be impactful end up being the things that win them the game. And O3 Splash, they get what they want. Dragon Dance, we cannot consider them like they just got rolled. Of course, getting capped to 6 point, it's very bad. It ruins your mental.
Yes.
I know. It feels terrible. But they still managed to push them very far. And you saw that first point, it was so free for them. They walked in, Xcal just beams you down, and what do you do about it? So I'm just saying, although they lose this point at Dragon Dance, they managed to put on a show that I was more than happy to be a spectator of. 6 and 5 for this point, and that is going to put them O3 Splash 1 point away from taking it home, taking a good nap before, going into the next day of contender spot. So I'm just saying, the way that these two are playing, it's high octane. They are not stopping. And even though the score is 0-2 pod, I think that with some small adjustments, like maybe play a little faster, we can see it. We could even see a reverse sweep, which I'm just saying, with the way that they've been playing, it could be possible. It could be possible.
Never count out a reverse sweep, because I've always seen the minute you count out a reverse sweep is the instance it happens. And this is something where the stat sheet won't say it how far that went. Like it's not really going to say how hard Dragon Dance played or the things that they did specifically to take O3 Splash to those extra rounds. But I mean, they putting up a heck of a fight. So it's going to be interesting to see how they bounce back. They've got to win something. They've got to switch something up. Maybe it is a roster move. Maybe you pick a completely new type of map that no one even wants to do. So picking small things like that can really change up a mental and swap up how you're doing. So keep in mind, this is their 5th straight map loss. I'm sure they're mentally boomed right now for lack of a better term. But while they recuperate and try and figure out what this next map is going to be, we are going to hop into a short break. So if you want to see how the rest of this series ends, does O3 Splash win 3-0, or do Dragon Dance try and make a comeback? The only way you can see it is if you stay tuned. So don't look away from that browser. We will be right back.
One.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you were able to use the bathroom, get some popcorn, do whatever you need to do, because we are getting hot back into this series. And the next map, my friends, is going to be Circuit Royale.
Hey, I'm just saying hello, guys. We came back from a very intense Numbani game. I think one of the closest games of the whole contender season up until now. So if you logged into today's stream, beautiful people on Twitch, you are in for a treat and you've been rewarded. And Circuit
Yes.
Royale is going to treat us for a lot of surprises, Pod. One of the things we have to know, Infected no longer going to be cooking on the monkey. The monkey doesn't get to play in Circuit. It's kind of sad, of course, but you know who's going to be going in? It's going to be the Cowman himself. Going to be cooking on the Circuit Royale, probably on Sigma. We already know how this one plays. And, it looks like everyone in chat is very, very, very interested in seeing Infected play, but we don't get to see it here. However, I'm just saying, Pod, if Dragon Dance is choosing Circuit Royale, it's for a reason. They've been beaten on Ubonic, which is a perfect dive map, so now we're putting on the brakes. We're playing slow, we're playing our Sigma, we're playing our double snipers, our Señaras, a complete 180 from what we've been playing. No more Kirikos, no more Anas, it's going to be a lot of poke. However, it looks like O3 Splash, they still want both on the Genji, which is going to allow for a lot of dives. So if you thought that this game was going to be any slower, you are very, very wrong.
Yeah, Sigma is definitely the premier pick for Circuit Royale. I was casting a game with Good Boys a few hours ago, and that was something that they were premier to they made sure they had on their team. That was a premier choice for them, and we are seeing Dragon Dance going for a sniper composition where O3 Splash going nearly the exact opposite, but both teams have the exact same things for everything else. And Petal trying to get a nice little headshot, nice little cheeky headshot off the start if it'll be available to him, and O3 Splash having to concede that space.
And that is the risk of this comp, Pod, because if you're not going snipers, all of these long lanes, both in first point and second point, are going to be dominated by Petal and XL snipers. So you have to play really careful, and your Sigma has to be on point with the barriers, but look at that. Both is getting caught out here, and they get the corner. Now, this is where the real map starts. Can you take over the corner? The first lane is a given, but this one is going to be all Petal trying to get a couple of picks. The whip, the shot doesn't find anyone, and Lukewarm punishes them for playing aggressive.
Punishes Petal for getting too close to the sun, and the Immortality Field almost going to keep him alive, but X-Cow going to fall once again. Keep in mind, there's no Immortality Field available onto Shirley going to fall. It does fall to Cowman right here. Cowman makes it a 2K. No 3 Splash might just move up here a little bit. Are gonna, I'm sure, have to concede the space back. Just keep in mind, those snipers are still ready and available for Dragon Dance, so you do not want to you don't want to risk it, and Boat just risked it right there.
Oh. Boat shoots their shot, and they they fly a little too close to the sun, and they're going to get burned. Trust me. Walls are almost online for Dragon Dance as well, and the gravitic fluxes are going to start appearing on the map. A lot of melody sounding out, and on that they are going to need to match this window because that's going to be dangerous.
Yeah, the window goes out, and Lukewarm makes sure to pick up kill onto Petal. Neutral wants a piece of the action as well. And a counter window going to be used out of Onda right there, but I don't know if that is going to be the proper time nor place for that. Yeah, I think it's just a waste of an ultimate out of Onda.
Yeah, Onda just uses their ultimate in a really bad spot. And right now, one of the weaknesses that they do have, and I do want to emphasize this, you're sacrificing your ultimates that would be very impactful when you're playing Sniper. Because, Dragons, it cuts off the team and it's a really good ultimate. But then Walls, not as impactful as could have been. Right now, it gets activated 15 seconds in which you cannot peek. But you're running into an overclock and a blade and a flux and a transcendence. So this is going to be a very tough push, and they need to either win without any ultimates or invest their own. Look at that Axel, what a first pick.
X-Cow makes it 2, and that's a nice gravitic flex out of Moving Fish to start off the action. O3 Splash just having to concede it, but no amount of space is going to keep you from that right there. Shimada v Shimada action. X-Cow wanting to win that duel, but Petal is going to interfere in the 1v1. Boat going to fall, and Dragon Dance going to secure this first point.
And I do want to reiterate on this. Team fights are going to be much better for O3 Splash because neutral game is going to be the trade-off that Dragon Dance wants. They want to control the sidelines. They want that every team fight that starts with a pick on their own side. But if they go in with Blade, trust me, Dragon Dance is going to have a tough time. So Shaxx Transcendence has to be absolutely huge here.
Yeah, the Transcendence going to counter it right there. Dragon Dance having to use that, but the Blade, after the Transcendence was committed, Boat still has the dash available, is going to slice and dice, is going to get at least one for his troubles, isn't going to pick up a kill onto Petal. Lukewarm going to take that away from him. And xCal trying to dive in there, trying to get some extra damage, and is just simply going to fall. And Shaq is way out of position right there. I don't even know how that Zenyatta got there.
You know, they let Zenyatta go in and they just get him at the end. And right now, that is going to be another one of your troubles. You invested your dragons, and now you're running into Transcendence, into an Overclock, and into Deco's Mirror, which a Mirror in a poke comp Potsdam, there's a reason that it's such a strong ultimate, and there's a reason that they picked the BAP over something else. They make their way up the ramp, but not unscathed. And right now, the fight is going to be very tough without any ultimates that are going to be impactful for Dragon Dance.
Yeah, you got to be careful. You do not fall here. Deco, like I said, has the ultimate. It is going to pop it. Don't want to get sniped off, though. xCal gets a 2K. Petal wants a piece of the action as well. A 2v5 so far. O3 Splash. I don't believe you guys can hold this. Calman, literally 1 HP. Someone punch him in the face. He's getting some shield back to his name. It is simply going to fall. And now it is only Lukewarm alive. He does have to dash out right there. And Dragon Dance finally able to get some percentage on the second point.
And Shaq doesn't confirm the kill path, and even though that seems like it's the smallest of mistakes, that is going to mean that Lukewarm can contest this way earlier than they could have, getting there some ultimate charge, establishing position, and right now, moving Fish, your Gravitic Flux has to be absolutely huge if you want to win this fight.
It might just be huge, but it's going to be stunned out of it. The Transcendence was still committed out of neutral, though, because he thought it was going to go through. So it still got the ultimate that you wanted. Petal gets a kill onto Boat. This Widowmaker has been insane. xCal simply going to fall to Deco right there. Moving Fist, the only one alive on the point for Dragon Dance, is going to fall. The Accretion going to hit absolutely no one. O3 Splash, though, are winning this fight. And Biscuit, we are down to less than a minute on the time bank, and O3 Splash looking like they're holding Dragon Dance.
They haven't had enough space, and look at that. Petal does choose to switch onto the Tracer. The Tracer is going to make it so that Deco and Neutral have to look around. They cannot just, you know, play their own game whenever they want. And if they go in with Tracer and they can get even a singular kill, that is going to be a massive trade-off. However, O3 Splash has the advantage. They have their DPS ultimates coming up and a window, which means that this next fight could be a little bit of a wipe, but Shaq does have Transcendence, so very good counter to any of these ultimates.
Yeah, Onda's getting very close to that window as well, so I have to see how they are able to effectively use them. Petal can also build up that Pulse Bomb incredibly fast, and Moving Fish gets the pick onto Lukewarm, but Boat with a nice deflect onto xCal right there. O3 Splash looking to try and hold this as much as they can. The Transcendence is going to be committed out of Dragon Dance. Boat is behind. He's got the blade available in a few seconds. One more shuriken will do it. He wants it. He wants the availability of it. He dashes in. Does have to kill that immortality field. Dashes up to pick off on to make it a 2K. O3 Splash gonna hold Dragon Dance before the second point. And they are trying to win this series 3-0. They will do anything it takes to get it.
I'm just saying, O3 Splash, they are very rude pod because they are challenging all of my knowledge of the game. I think they're gonna go snipers. No, we're watching the Genji when we're watching Lukewarm on the Sojourn, and they just managed to get some plays that just take us completely out of our element. Dragon Dance, they managed to get a couple of picks. You saw it. xCal absolutely prying open that first point with the shots on Hanzo. xCal, they do that on Petal with the shots on Widow. They are able to do the same. But then, as you run into shorter sidelines, as you run into more cramped spaces, both Genji and Lukewarm Sojourn is going to get so much damage on top of you. And look at that. Even on defense, even on offense, sorry, they choose to go the Widow and the Genji, not quite committing to a double sniper comp. And Dragon Dance, I do believe they should have the advantage here. I'm not gonna take it for given because I've seen what the O3 Splash can do. But Double Sniper is going to mean that any heads are peeking without a barrier in front of them are going to be clicked, and then you're back to spawn. So O3 Splash with the Genji, they are looking for very aggressive plays, and Neutral and Deco going to be in a lot of danger here if they cannot get that Genji away from them.
The Genji going to be the difference maker for O3 Splash. At least they are hoping it is. Do not want to be held on this first little corner. And the double sniper, we were talking about it on offense. It is still incredibly good on the defense, especially when you have two snipers to work with, maybe even a third if you decided to go Ana, but neither team doing that. The Zen and Baptiste going to be the premier support line, and XCal going to start off the fun with a pick onto neutral. So even though they got the pick, O3 Splash still able to push like nothing even happened.
Yep, and this first line, pod is an absolute given for every team. We've seen it before. You cannot contest this on defense without getting your head blown off. There's too little cover. But the corner is when the real game starts. And Lukewarm trying to get a couple of shots and taking a very aggressive position, which is what they have to do. But into double sniper, you're going to have fun. But look at that!
Doesn't even matter. He's going to pick up a kill onto Lukewarm, but this Hanzo is so far out in the open, jumps off the map only to climb himself back up, trying to, play that corner a little bit. And Boat gonna slice right through him. O3 Splash looking to capture this point. A nice deflect into the head of Petal. That was personal, if you ask me. Over 5 minutes in the time bank for O3 Splash. Biscuit, I think they're tired and want to go to bed.
I blinked and I missed the kill, and with the way that they just killed him in a second, I think they want to go to bed in a second as well. O3 Splash is showing us that Boat doesn't need to play sniper, but XCal putting the brakes on them. Lukewarm, you're not running over my team, but Boat has an answer to that.
Boat with another deflect kill on top of the blade as well, is still going to die though to Onda, but does force the majority of Dragon Dance to go on to him, allowing for O3 Splash to get some nice percentage. And neutral gets a kill onto Moving Fish. A nice gravitic flux. Is this the time? It picks up 3, and all 3 of them are just gonna fall, except for Shaq, who's gonna fall to a rock to the face. O3 Splash pushing this cart. I don't know if you can touch if you're Dragon Dance here.
Hey, I'm just saying this is going to be nap time for you, Pod, and for me, because O3 Splash, they close it out 3-0 against Dragon Dance. I'm sorry to say, but Midtown looks like it's their home.
Yeah, just not looking the best for Dragon Dance so far this season. 0-3 in their last match, 0-3 in this match. Today was not their day. Hopefully they're able to have some better success in the future. But O3 Splash out for blood. I think it all started with Petal playing that Reaper on Numbani, killing Infected, and then Infected getting all bent out of shape over it, knowing that his team had to win. And granted, Infected didn't play for this last map, but I don't think it mattered that much, Biscuit. O3 Splash just dominating all the same.
Look, they saw Petal on Reaper, and Infected was like, hey, Cowman, you see this guy over here? He picked Reaper against Monkey. He doesn't like having fun. Hey, run him down in Midtown. And that's exactly what they did. They are out for blood, and they are winning like no one ever has. O3 Splash 6-0 on the season. I'm just saying, Pod, the competition is so serious on Contenders, and they are making it look like their playground. So, look, I'm just saying, for the viewers at home, that is going to be it for today. But tomorrow, we have even more games coming in. So even though Dragon Dance, they didn't have the best showing today, we're all a little sleepy. We want to go to bed. And O3 Splash speed running a little bit. That doesn't matter because tomorrow's a new day, and we do encourage you guys to check it out. But hey, Pod, as we close out, any lasting remarks you want to say?
I just want to look at the standings. I don't know if production's able to do that, but O3 Splash are +10 in the map differential. The only team who has a better one is Pirates, surprisingly, who are lower than them in the standings at 5-1. But O3 Splash just running through this start of the series, start of the season, and hopefully they can continue this up. And here we go. We can look at this right here. 6-0, 18-8, plus 10 map differential. Dragon Dance now with the worst record in the league, 5-17 on maps, -12 in the map differential. Biscuit, if I have anything to say as we close today, is O3 Splash domination, Dragon Dance. Man, you got to figure something out.
Yep. But look at the standings as well. Things have been swinging a little bit. Pirates and Pajamas looked very dominant at the beginning, and now they're of course not doing bad. But the map differential, although it is better, they find themselves in second place. Good boys. Pod. They could have a Dragon Den story here because they were at the bottom, almost at the bottom, 11th place, and now they're back at 5th. So things in contenders are not just what they look like. So although round robin may go bad for one team, when it is playoffs, everything is on the table. All of the chips, you're taking them home if you win, you're losing them if you lose, and just trust me. Some teams might have the best showing right here, but when it's playoffs, they're going to look like absolutely different players. But
Absolutely.
Pod, I'm just saying this night, it was absolutely great casting with you. Thank you to the players for showing up. And if you want to find us, if you want to see more of our casting, our Twitters, get to know us more, you can find it here, right below our my picture, and Pod Slim's very handsome face.
Oh,
And
well, thank you.
well, I will be a nice girl, and I will let you close us out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you all tuning in to the O3 Splash stream. Make sure you are following all the other contenders streams, as we will be doing broadcasts. Obviously all of today. If you weren't tuning into all the streams at the same time, I don't know what you are doing, but you tuned in here at least, and we definitely appreciate that. So we will have some more matches tomorrow, so be on the lookout to see who, when, and what we are streaming. But that is going to do it for us here. I've been Podslam. Over there has been Biscuit, and we hope you have an awesome night and a great rest of your week.